La.
How? Okay, there's natural light and there is a bulb in the ceiling. How on earth does Miss Cracker do this? I'm not investing in a ring light. This is ridiculous. Well, hello again. Now this is going to be a bit of a cumulative one, and it's a little confusing because we're on day 4, but this is going to be day 2 and 3 recording, because why not? Time is merely an illusion anyway. But as you can probably see, whole new digs, rather amazing bedspread, and it's a twin room, but I have bunk beds, so that is really delighting my inner child. And this time I actually have a window. Want to see the view? Oh yeah! Sunny Welly. I mean, so many people have been commenting on the weather, but to be perfectly honest, I'm just delighted the fact that I can go out in jeans and not immediately sweat through my t-shirt anymore. It's gorgeous. But yes, I've made it down to Wellington. But I want to talk about my day and a half, sort of, in Auckland, and actually making my way down here to Wellington. I got settled in at base, I had a good night's sleep, thank God, but I still woke up at stupid o'clock in the morning, because yay, body clocks. Set myself up for the day, had a little bit of breakfast, and then decided, right, what am I going to do with my time? I could do administrative stuff, I could send out some speculative emails, I could do whatever I fancy. So of course I went to the zoo, because let's be honest, it's me. But I trudged over to Auckland Zoo. Well, I didn't trudge, I took the bus. And I know last time I spoke about different regulations and different rulings on aircrafts changing. Yeah, cities change too. Of course I understand that happens, but it is, especially over 3 years, but it was a little bit weird. Mainly in the fact that the buses didn't seem to run the same way as they had 3 years ago, so I was getting further and further away from the centre of town, and it didn't appear to be following the routes that I remembered, so it literally got to the point of, we are now approaching Chef Point Shops. I was like, I know where that is, I remember where that is, stop, get off and walk. And I don't know whether it was just a case of 3 years ago I was younger, naive, or just constantly exhausted, but it wasn't as far a walk as I remembered. And moseyed on over to Auckland Zoo and tried not to cry in front of the signage. But I made my way over to Auckland Zoo, which has got a very, very dear place in my heart, because that's where I had a 6-month internship. Now, over the winter, their summer, 2014-2015, I spent 6 months working with the bird team based at Auckland Zoo, and it was possibly the best 6 months of my life. Exhausting, terrifying, flipping hard work, but they were absolutely brilliant, and the people were fantastic, and I got to work with amazing, amazing species, which had pretty much very, very heavily influenced my education, my academic career, my actual career, for if it could be called a career. But they've had a massive effect on me, these species. If you actually go to my channel page, the little icon, me grinning like an idiot opposite a very green fat parrot, yeah, that was one of my life goals being completed right there. Hence why I'm grabbing my own wrists, otherwise I'm going to reach out and grab that bird, Sirocco the kakapo, and shake him and basically go, it's all your fault. But I wanted to go and see how they were doing and how the work was progressing and everything. So I got there, I paid admission. A few people did ask me over the course of the day, you know, you come to visit, have you paid admission? Yes, I did, because I want to be able to support the work they've done. I want to be able to support the animals and all the conservation work that they're doing out in the field. But it was a reduced rate anyway, because reduced viewing of the rhinos and the various different ungulate species, so the zebras, the giraffes, all that sort of thing, because about 40% of Auckland Zoo at the moment is under construction. They've got fantastic things planned. They want to really redevelop the central part where the orangutans used to be. They are developing the Africa savanna areas. And there had been a few changes that were available for people to see, such as the lovebird walkthrough, which was wonderful because I did work with them occasionally during my internship, so I was stood there, all these squeaky little devils flying around my head going, ah! I remember when I had to go and pull eggs and you used to sort of just flock and attack me, not in a sort of savage way, but just in a case of, hi! They're so cute, they're so cute. I've missed these squeaky little babies. Hey guys! Hello! out of your offshore ovaries. Seriously, it's beautiful in here though. Now, I had hoped to go to Auckland Zoo and just have a mosey around and just kind of sneak in under the radar and just see what happens. And the thing is, it's been 3 years since I've been there. 3 years. I thought, no one's going to recognise me. No one's going to know who I am. I walk around into the Africa section, walk past the flamingos, and then suddenly there's a voice of, "Pippa, what are you doing here?" coming from, and I look down and there is Devon and Sarah hefting sandbags around. Devon recognised me. Straight. Sarah did have to be reminded of who I am. She recognised my face, but she couldn't remember my names. But to be perfectly honest, I couldn't remember anyone's names either. I was having to do very, very quick thinking and try to remember who was who. But Sarah came and gave me a hug and said, "Go see the team in Te Wanui in the kitchens. We'd love to see you." And I was there going, I'm going to get thrown out on my arse. They're going to take one look at me in civvies and go, "Nope, what are you doing back here? Shut me out." As I made my way around there, Susie was there as well. She gave me a massive hug and said, "Hello, how are you?" She said, "Don't worry, we all know you're here now," because the word travels that fast. By the time I got around there, Devon and Sarah were heading back in, and they said, "Yep, just follow us." There were so many contractors around, it pretty much was the case of just walk with purpose. No one's going to stop you. And actually the zoo, it was a Thursday, and technically we are in winter, so it was actually very, very quiet. They don't call Wellington the Windy City for nothing. So I was able to walk in and I was reintroduced to some of the team, introduced to a few new faces, and Nat, who was there during my time, she and I had a good chat for a few minutes, and she was telling me all the changes that had happened. There's been several people who have left, a few new people have come in, there's been a few posts that have been vacated, so me, with all the tact of a brick to the face, went, "So, vacancies?" But unfortunately they still look as if they're going through a little bit of a recruitment freeze, and anyway, I've still got to get past the council rather than the zoo itself. But we had a bit of a natter, we caught up, they asked me how I was doing, what I was doing, and they said, "Come along to lunch, you know, it'd be fantastic for you to meet everybody and have a little bit of a chat and everything." So about half an hour later I tipped up at the old lunchroom. I just about remembered where it was. Thing is, they hadn't really told me that there was an actual meeting and an actual celebration going on. I think today is the last day of Mari New Year, and I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to pronounce what the celebration is called, but I'm going to down here. So a large proportion of the keepers were all there, as well as a few of the managers and the team and the office teams, and they were just celebrating the past year and remembering the animals that they'd lost that year as well. But I was looking around and there was various familiar faces. A few people recognised me, but it was a case of, I recognise you with the uniform, but can I remember your name? But a few people did remember me from my time. And actually I was able to catch up with one of the members of staff who was involved with running the internship programme back when I was there, Richard, and he was asking how I was doing, and I said, "I'm at Whipsnade," and his face broke into a massive grin because he was there going, "I started my career at Whipsnade," and I was there going, "Yes, I remember," and we were having a wonderful time catching up and everything. But as he left, because he had to head on to work, gave me a handshake and said, "I know you'll make it, you're tenacious." I was like, and actually I really appreciated that, but there was a part of me going, "Tenacious? You're stubborn as hell." Yeah. I walked around, I went and visited a few different aviaries. The new Australia walkthrough is beautiful. Beautiful setup there, and I was able to go and attend a few keeper talks and watched instant karma as a black and red cockatoo had its tail nearly grabbed by a young boy, and then about 2 minutes later turned around and flew at him. So that was rather satisfying. And also I got to catch up with Captain, who I was delighted was still there, because he was an old boy when I was there. Hey beautiful, you're still here. Hey buddy! Hey! I'm not crying, you're crying. And it's very early days, but I had my holiday already made because I saw a kiwi. I saw kiwis. I couldn't take any footage of them because Kiwi House is pitch black and it just wouldn't have been worth it. But rest assured, there was about 3 minutes of me running up and down this glass front of an enclosure, following this kiwi as it foraged back and forth, grinning to the point where my face hurt. But after a wonderful day, I decided to head back into town, and yeah, I could have taken the bus, but I walked. I do that a lot. I keep thinking, no, I'm not going to spend the money on a bus fare or anything. It's only over there. And thankfully, walking through Auckland, if you wanted to head back to the CBD, all you got to do is keep walking towards the tower. That's all you got to do. A lot easier than it is in a lot of places, but admittedly, Auckland, actually everywhere in New Zealand, hills. I keep forgetting that. It's a volcanic landscape. Hills, hills everywhere. So, yesterday morning, so that'll be the 6th, woke up again stupid early, which I'm really not appreciating. But I hopped on the plane. It's a nice quick journey. Oh, if you ever got some time to kill, go on YouTube and look up Air New Zealand's safety videos. They change quite regularly, but they are always brilliant. They've had the All Blacks in on it, they've had Peter Jackson and the Hobbit lot. It's a nice quick flight, wonderful views out the window, and they don't call New Zealand the land of the long white cloud for nothing. Coming into land at Wellington, now I thought the landing at Auckland had been a little bit terrifying. You know, water, 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 tarmac. This was water, 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 water and rocks, water and rocks, water and rocks, then tarmac. But it was wonderful coming in and then seeing on the outside of the airport the middle of Middle Earth. I was like, yes. Now I was just going to catch a bus into the centre of town and make my way to the Donington as best I could, but Tabby had managed to catch me on Facebook Messenger earlier in the day. Now Tabby is whose wedding I'm here for. She's a very, very good friend of mine from secondary school. And she said, so, when is your flight? Gave her the time. Fantastic. One of my bridesmaids will be there to meet you. Okay, fantastic. I was met by Nicole, who seems absolutely lovely, and she was there with a cardboard sign saying Pippa, Tabby's friend, because apparently Tabby had described me to her, but basically just given her a case of, right, she's about this high with dark hair. She gave me a lift to the Dwellington, and basically gave me a rough idea what was meant to be happening that evening. We knew we were meeting for dinner, so Tabby's side of the wedding party we were going to be meeting for dinner and everything, and it turned out it was family, very, very close friends. And she'd lumped me in with them, so I was actually rather touched by that. Admittedly, I was terrible company because I was still exhausted. So I was there, literally matchsticks in the eyeballs, just going, yeah, I'm still awake, promise I'm still awake. But actually it was a lovely, lovely evening. Got to meet everyone, got to catch up with quite a few people, including her parents, her siblings, got to meet some of her flatmates too. And actually it was a good thing I went because, you know, towards the end of the evening I was rather blearily saying, so Tabby, coach is at 2 o'clock, right? No, 1 o'clock. The invite definitely says 2. Oh. And basically Tabby had sent out invitations quite a while ago, and the original invitations had said 2 o'clock to the international group. Yeah, it definitely says 2 o'clock. Definitely says 2 PM there. I'm not being ridiculous. But they changed it to 1 o'clock, just so that they've got the they'll be able to catch the sunset in the proceedings and everything, and it does sound absolutely beautiful. But she told everybody New Zealand side, but because there are so few of us international, she forgot to pass the message on. Can't say I blame her. Can't say I blame her, but I'm just very, very glad we had that discussion. Otherwise, yeah, there would have been problems later on today. Nope, stumbled back in last night, having been Ubered. I had my first ever Uber. I still don't know how it works. I am such a country bumpkin, it's not even funny. I am literally Lizzie Bennett. I am literally trudging and turning up to places with the bottom of my skirts half a foot deep in mud. Signing out. La